Hi, I'm Grégory Demont, wireless application engineer, work for Microchip Technology. So today we are going to get started with developing a secure LoRa end-device application by using Microchip Technology SAMR34 LoRa MCU device and a pre-provisioned EC6608 secure element along with a TTI joint server. So let's get started. The material of this workshop is available on Microchip Tech GitHub. Search for wireless made fun and select Secure LoRaWAN with TTI. Step by step, I'm gonna guide you on this workshop. Before starting, make sure you have all the material and the software installed on your computer. For the hardware, I'm using the Things Indoor Gateway from TTI. For the LoRa end node, I'm using SAMR34 Explain Pro Evaluation Kit. For the secure element, I'm using ECC608 TNG LoRa, which is pre-provisioned for TTI. And I'm using a socket board to put the ECC608 micro DFN package inside. I'm Gregory, the project manager, and you are the developer, and all together we have a challenge. We work for the Acme Freezer company, and this company makes freezers and cold storage and works on compressor, and now they need to go off and need to solve a problem for our customer. We have created a wireless sensor to help prevent the food from our client being damaged because the door doesn't close correctly. For this wireless implementation, we have selected the LoRaWAN network. What we will do in the next hour, you are part of my team, and my task is to make sure that our product gets ready for production. And Zoe, our creative R&D designer, has developed a prototype based on SAMR34 LoRa MCU from Microchip, connected to the Things network infrastructure.
Yes, we have 10 sensors. Yes, we have a solution.
So thank you and good job, Zoe. As a base, we've used the SAMR34 Explain Pro board, which is a fully certified development tool. It's great because we can reuse it as a reference design and copy-paste it onto the design. To easiness the development of our own board, we've used the chip-down design package delivered by Microchip. It's online and it contains the complete resource for RF chip-down design, such as hardware, layout guidelines, antenna patterns, schematic, layout, and Gerber, and all provided as a design source files. About the software, we've used the LoRaWAN certified stack developed, supported, and maintained by Microchip. This is public and available on the web also. In addition to LoRaWAN stack, other communications are available to fulfill many use cases, such as Wi-Fi, BLE, LoRa peer-to-peer, LoRa star topology, plus security solution as well, and we have it. And Maya, our cool product architect, confirmed that the main CPU match the request in terms of memory size, power consumption, set of peripheral, and this device is in production.
Yes, it's fully available and in production now. Risk-free and short time to market.
So we are good, it's validated by Maya. We've started to prototype with TTN, which was very convenient because it's an open and free-to-use community network. However, at Acme Freezer Company, we are looking for larger deployment of devices, and we found TTI, which is a good option for robustness, scalability, and security reasons that match perfectly our industrial constraint. But Clayton, our grumpy boss, stopped us and he said, do we really need to implement security in a temperature sensor? Why changing a device which is already secured by nature with AES engine, which is part of the LoRaWAN spec? Why selecting TTI as a single source? So secure element for what? This brings additional hardware, so extra cost at the end. More complexity for the R&D team, so again, extra cost for design and manufacturing. So the boss is pretty reluctant. But anyway, we will follow the recommendation of our boss, and we will start with lab 1, where you will set up your TTI session on their web interface, provision your sensor within TTI network server, and validate that every sensor in the field report its temperature properly back to our company dashboard. For lab 1, you need the following: a TTI network server account and your own tenant, a gateway configured to route LoRa packets to TTI network server. On my side, I'm using the Things indoor gateway from TTI, a SAMA34 X-Plane Pro board plus the RF antenna, and a micro USB cable to connect the board to your computer. And to be able to join TTI network server, you need a set of 3 root keys for over-the-air activation of your device. But sadly today, LoRaWAN authentication keys are often shared via Excel spreadsheet, or worse, sent over postal mail printed on a piece of paper. So it's not a really secure approach. I recommend you to have a look on the ThingStack online documentation. It provides you getting started and how to use the console. The console is very important because this is the main entry point to log in, create gateway, create application, and create end device. With your own tenant and with your own cluster, open TTI Network Server Console. On my side, I'm connected to Microchip tenant and I'm using EU1 as a cluster. Log in with your own user ID and own password. I assume you have already created and registered a gateway to the current cluster. Select Go to Application. From here, you will create an application. Click Add Application. And you have to type application ID and eventually application name. Click Create Application. When the application is created, go to Device in the left menu and click on Add a Device. Fill the device ID, temp sensor, device name temperature sensor. Scroll down. You have to select the Mac version. Mac version corresponds to the LoRaWAN stack embedded into the device, the end device. On my side, it's a Mac version 102 embedded into the SAMA34. The PHY version corresponds to the regional parameter implemented into the LoRaWAN stack. In this case, it's PHY 102 Ref B. Frequency plan I'm in Europe and I will connect my device with 863.870 MHz. I don't need to support Class C. Make sure over-the-air activation is checked. You can uncheck external join server. And now you have to fill Joiny UI, Dev UI, and App Key. The three root keys, basically, I have received by paper. So let's start with the Joiny UI. The Dev UI. And the App Key. Scroll down and click on Create Device. You are now exposed to the device overview page. The device is provisioned within TTI, and the next step is to configure the end device and to provision as well the end device. Plug the antenna and connect the micro USB cable to eDBG connector of the board. And now you can connect the USB cable to your PC. Now we need to load the application into the end device. From the Secure LoRaWAN with TTI repo from the Microchip Tech GitHub, make sure you have cloned or download the full package. Now, just open Atmel Studio . Select Tools, Device Programming. Make sure eDBG is selected and SAMR34J18B as a device. Click on Apply, select Memories, and click Browse for File and search for the two files you have downloaded from the GitHub repo. Select apps and device demo.elf and click on Program. You can close this window. Now we will open the embedded serial terminal. For that, click on Tools and select Data Visualizer. From the serial port control panel, make sure you see the virtual COM port mounted when you have connected your device. Change the baud rate to 1.15.200. Click on Connect. And now you are connected to your end device over the serial console. And now if I'm pressing reset button from the SAMR34 X-Plane Pro board, I should see a message. Make sure to check add \r\n, and from the console type 1 and press enter to select lab 1. We will manually provision the device by entering the Dev UI, the Joiny UI and the App Key. I'm using again the piece of paper I've received to find the OTAA credentials, the same keys I've used to provision the device within TTI network server. So let's start with the dev UI. I'm pressing enter to validate. Now the join UI. And finally the app key. Enter. Press 1 and enter to confirm the provisioning. Enter your first name and press enter. Your device should successfully join the network. And you can press SAM-R34 Explain Pro Board SW button to transmit an uplink message. Now let's go back to TTI console to see the result. From the device overview page, you can directly observe the activity of your device. If you click on Data, you can retrieve the list of the different messages from your device. For example, if I'm clicking on the latest one, I can retrieve my decoded payload. Now, if you want to work with an application server data streaming, TTI provides many integrations like MQTT, webhooks, or PubSubs. I recommend you to have a look on the ThingStack documentation if you want to work with those integrations. For Acme Freezer dashboard, I've used Node-RED in order to connect an MQTT node. And I have created a dashboard to expose the data. And on the dashboard, we can see the payload composed of my name and the current temperature of the board. At Acme Freezer Company, we have been hacked, and today the weaknesses are the security by design. Embedded security is now being considered but hard to implement. And obviously, the backdoors are consequently left open to hackers. In LoRaWAN, let's review some device and network security vulnerabilities. In the node, authentication keys are often stored in the flash memory. They are therefore accessible and subject to key counterfeiting. In other words, device identity theft. So, trusted, protected, and managed was not implemented until today. In LoRaWAN 102 spec, the backend is also subject to attacks. That could be cloning, for example. With an application key, a network server provider can derive the application session key and decrypt associated customer data. With application key, an application server provider can derive the network session key and clone a LoRaWAN end node. user vulnerability as well. Bad habits are to put password visible on a post-it. We saw together a real case, again, by sharing the OTA keys on a piece of paper. How we can make things better. Here are the best security practices for key handling. The goal is to build a chain of trust. First is to isolate the private keys from users. 2. Isolate private keys from software and firmware. 3. Isolate key manipulation from the manufacturing phase. And 4. Keep the critical crypto primitives and private key isolated together. From hardware standpoint, we are talking about a secure element IC, which is a vault that protects secrets. The secrets, that could be keys, certificates, are never exposed. A secure element like the ECC 608 has advanced hardware security blocks to defend against a multiple of attacks. Microchip value proposition is to provide a secure authentication for LoRaWAN network. Part of Microchip Trust & Go platform, we offer a pre-provisioned ECC 608 secure element supporting LoRaWAN 1.0x and the latest LoRaWAN 1.1 spec. We offer secure provisioning service from Microchip factories equipped with hardware secure module. The ECC 608A TNG LoRa comes with 1 year of TTI joint server service. For LoRaWAN 1.1, TTI joint server will provide rekeying to transfer control to a different joint server by regenerating the keys. Network and application server are totally agnostic. Anytime the user can select which network to use in the TTI joint server. Microchip generates the root key, and Microchip provides a simple onboarding process. You can order generic ECC 608 TNG LoRa from Microchip. After received the secure element, you can download manifest file from your Microchip account. Manifest file is nothing else than a public document which contains the serial numbers of your batch of devices. There is no secret inside this file. Then upload the manifest file to TTI joint server. This will claim your batch of devices within TTI joint server and automatically associate the secret keys with your account. And from TTI joint server console, you will select which network server and application server to use. And finally, you have a secure, trusted, and managed authentication process. Clayton is now an happy boss. He understands the security and sees the security as the solution thanks to a secure element and TTI end-to-end approach. So we will follow the new guidelines of our boss, and now the secure element and TTI joint server are now entering into the game. In Lab 2, you will claim your device within TTI joint server, register and get connected your device to network server, and validate that sensor in the field reports its temperature properly back to our company dashboard. For Lab 2, you need a TTI network and joint server single account and your own tenant. The same gateway as you used on Lab 1, which is configured to route LoRa packets to TTI network server. The same SAMR34 Explain Pro board with the same application code inside with the RF antenna mounted and the board connected to the PC through micro USB cable. But for Lab 2, you need additional things. You need a crypto socket board and a pre-provisioned ECC608 TNG LoRa with the manifest file associated. As I said before, manifest file is nothing else than a public document in JSON format which contains the serial numbers of your batch of devices. Take the crypto socket board and for the very first time configure the DIP switch to enable I2C communication with the host microcontroller. Switch 1, 3 and 6 must be placed to on position. So I'm using a tweezer 1, 3 and 6. Now we will place the secure element in the socket board. Open the socket board. Make sure the pin number 1 of the component represented by a point is located at the bottom left and place securely the component in the socket like this and close it. Now you can simply attach the crypto authentication microDFN socket kit to the SAMA34 X-Plane Pro board on the X3 header. We will check that the SAMA34 is able to communicate with the ECC608 device. For that, make sure the USB cable is still plugged between the board and the computer. Press Reset button, and from the serial console, you should be invited to select between Lab 1 or Lab 2. From the console, select Lab 2 and press Enter. And observe, you can see the Dev UI, Join UI, and serial number keys. Those three keys are not secret, and you can use the serial number to make sure that this value match the serial number you have in your manifest file. TTI and Microchip developed a security solution for LoRaWAN that enable secure key provisioning and secure cryptographic operation using secure element. Here, we will claim the secure element on TTI join server. For that, we will now log in to the console of the TTI LoRaWAN join server. Go to the application and select your application name. Click Import Devices. For the format, select Microchip ECC608 TNG LoRa manifest file. Click Select a file and open your manifest file. If you want to make your device available for claiming by other users, you can check Set Claim Authentication Code and click Create Devices. Your secure element is now claimed in your application. Click on Proceed. And now you can find your new device as part of the join server. The secure element, this device, cannot be claimed by anyone else until you delete the device. But claiming the secure element only creates the device on the join server. Next step is to register your secure element on a network server and application server. In this workshop, we are using the Things Industry Cloud Hosted. This is an hosted service to build private networks. In this configuration, you can only use your own gateway, and the setup is pre-configured to use TTI Join Server. To activate the device in TTI Cloud Hosted, we will use command line interface. I recommend you to follow the instruction from the ThingStack online documentation and learn how to install the CLI. To perform all the CLI operation described in the ThingStack IO documentation, we are using Linux Virtual Machine. When the CLI setup is done and after using CLI to log in to your TTI account, you can register the device on a TTI network server and application server. For that, we need the following information: the net ID of the Things network, the LoRaWAN version, the LoRaWAN regional parameter version, your frequency plan, the application ID, and the device ID. Over the CLI, we will use the set command to register the device in application called Acme Freezer. Version of LoRaWAN 102. LoRaWAN 5 version 102B. Frequency plan EU 863-870. And that's it. Now I'm pressing enter. Now the device is registered and part of the TTI network and application server. Now let's go back to the serial console and we will interact with the device application. From the console, select Lab 2 and press enter. Enter your first name and press enter. Your device should successfully join the network. Now let's press SW button to transmit an uplink message. And we will directly observe the result on the dashboard. And we can confirm that we can visualize the correct data composed of my name and the temperature of the board. And here we are. With a simple onboarding process, we have implemented a hardware root of trust to the LoRa ecosystem to establish a trusted authentication between our end device and TTI Cloud. At Acme Freezer Company, we can conclude that marketing approved the choice of the solution, design team has validated the product, and over this workshop, you have validated the solution and it's robust, secure, and onboarding is simple. So, congratulations team, we made it and we are ready for production. As a takeaway, good security is not expensive, but bad security is. Key storage and key management are really important to consider at the very beginning to design a secure IoT solution. Pre-provisioned secure element on a LoRaWAN node makes your application secure and simplify onboarding along manufacturing with a cost-effective approach. Secure element can add additional features such as secure boot, verification of firmware update over the air, and rekeying. Microchip has end-to-end LoRaWAN approach with SAMR34 LoRa MCU and ECC608 secure element, enabling smart, connected, and secure IoT. Thank you for watching this workshop. Have a good day.